You know, it feels like we were just talking about a brand new Slug blaster. This is the Indra, and while it doesn't fit on my camera all in one spiel, we'll get it outside where you can really see it living up to its full potential. And while it might not have hopped out of the rig Veda, it is still a very seriously powerful sniper performance kind of blaster. So it takes a lot of inspiration from Slug's new handle design. It's a new magwell design. The bolt action is, you know, completely new, at least in the 3D printed Slug kind of category. You've got a lot of guide for the spring in here. You've got this Indra back plate. Not only looks sharp, but also really shores up the back end of it, keeps it tight. And then he's using U-channel. That's aluminum extrusion U-channel for the sides, which lets you have kind of this open pop. I do really, really dig that. Slug, of course, always tries to print things pretty fast, and so he doesn't like long prints with high failure points. This rail, which has some almost like laser rifle kind of vibes to it, looks vaguely Mandalorian. I'm sure there'll be a remix very, very soon, turning this into a disintegrator rifle, but this is multiple parts, which makes it look kind of compartmentalized, and each chamber makes it feel more sci-fi. This is a brand new muzzle brake from Slug, and it's quite clean as well. It almost looks kind of winged coming off of the top, and that's most of the aesthetics. I mean, again, like if you've ever seen one Slug blaster, you've seen kind of his design language in totality. The Yeehaw works very similarly in terms of how the grip blends into the body, but how it primes, and this is a full in-strike compatible magwell with, admittedly, it's got the Vanguard style bolt up there so that you can slip magazines in and out whether the blaster is primed or not. The magazine release is right here. It's actually very convenient. It's one of Slug's better mag release designs, and then the elastic that he's employing in a lot of different places just saves on cost. It makes this a relatively affordable hardware kit, given that there's less springs and doodads and proprietary McMaster car parts, which we all know cost, you know, 50, 60, 70 cents a pop. So priming this back like this, the easiest way to prime your Indra is to kind of hold the magwell, I found, and then shoulder it, take that, pull it back, push it forward, lock it down, and it's pretty Civil War style like that. Now, of course, given that this is a full-size magwell, that means that it's very easy for you to drop it out, grab the adapter of your choice. I actually really like the Walmart Pro adapters. I think that they're quite good. Get that in there like so. Go ahead and take your Talon magazine, put that in there like so, and now you can, the same way, you can fire half-length darts. And the half-length darts fire a little bit better. Now, according to Slug's testing, this performs a little bit worse than a Caliburn, but that begs the question, like, why would I do all of the bolt action goodness as opposed to the clean pump action of a Caliburn or, say, a Talon Claw? And I think that the answer there is actually going to be up to you. Some people really, really like bolt action. I don't mind it. It's a fun sort of change of pace. Some people feel like they're more accurate when they're, you know, choked up like this. And in particular, a case that I wasn't thinking of necessarily, my senior designer has like a really injured elbow. And he mentioned that being able to do everything with his one arm was actually like incredibly comfortable for him, whereas his left elbow is, again, like horribly damaged. So priming constantly like something with a K26 behind it is very uncomfortable for him, could lead to like future complications. Sometimes he's talking about getting a brace. So if you happen to not like pump action because it hurts your elbow, this lets you use your dominant arm for both actions. Just as long as I'm thinking about it, in addition to somebody like Jake, whose elbow is torqued, there's also a Nerfer up in the Northeast who goes by Jay Lego, who only has one arm. And he's adapted that with a series of bungees and different things over the years to make designs work for him. But he is like old school Nerf Haven, and I think that he would really dig something where he could effectively use the entire thing with his one, you know, complete arm. So I think that there's a lot of merits to the Indra beyond just like strictly performance-based metrics, whether it be accuracy or ergonomics. And it's kind of cool to see a fully functional bolt action that's honestly like quite smooth. Like all of these chamberings have been clean. Everything about it feels natural. Like if you've ever used a bolt action rifle, it feels comfortable. It feels pretty good. So let's take it outside, figure out what those performance numbers are, give you kind of a look at it in the light, but it's an incredibly stable build with the U-line going through all of it. I mean, I dig it. I think that it's neat. Plus, this one's the prototype. Thanks for sending over the prototype, Slug. All right, guys, so we're out here with the Indra. Again, it definitely feels longer than a burn. Maybe that's because I'm not pump actioning it and all the kind of mass is in the back here, but let's put a few over the chronograph, see what we've got. 83 is not incredible, and that would have double fed there, but I think I'm on my last dart in this one. And then 64 makes me wonder if something may or may not be going on here. I'm not 1000% on that. So let's fire a couple full length shots. That one was 81 and 64. So I think that there's definitely something going on with the seal on mine. Again, Slug did send me the prototype. His numbers on his website reflect better performance than this. Let's put a few downrange. It looks like I've got a worker Gen 3 and then 2 worker Gen 2s in this case. I think we still have an O-ring, so our seal should be fine. Chambering definitely feels tight. We are using a slightly lighter spring in this one, but you know, I mean, there's definitely a way where this plunger volume and this barrel length becomes ultra powerful. If it's not doing that right now, I'm gonna leave it as is for the sake of, you know, I mean, these are very transparent, very honest reviews. However, I do want to point out that I think that that's a little unusual, that it's shooting sort of soft. So let's put some range shots down. And that's a 100-foot shot all the way into the woods. So I have no idea what's going on, guys. It might just be a barrel fit thing. Maybe this particular aluminum barrel doesn't necessarily like the old school worker darts and the Gen 3. All right, we're gonna put the last shot over the chronograph because I just don't believe what's happening is a good reflection of what this thing can do, because those are both 100-foot shots. Those were fine. Jinx. Jinxie. I could fire it under Jinx, which would really... Come on. Come here. Hey, come here. Nerf magazine. Goofball. You're killing me, Jay. You're killing me, Jay. $75. I don't get it, guys. The ones that go over the chronograph are not great shots. The ones that I shoot down into the woods are 100-foot shots easily. So a little confusing this time, but again, while this is slightly lower performance than the Caliburn, at least in Slug's testing, it's definitely more refined in terms of how the magwell and the 440s work in a lot of different ways. The pins are much shorter up here that hold this apparatus on. I mean, there's a lot of merit to this system. I know that my intern is going to build one of his very own, so maybe as an aside in a future video, we'll take a look at that, see how his works and what he thinks of it. But thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this look at the Indra. I think that it's a platform with a terrific amount of merits, particularly if this is more familiar to you than this. But just the latest Slug design. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below.